postcard perfect Saturday in Chapel Hill for college softball. Second game of the rivalry series. The North Carolina Tar Heels and Duke Blue Devils going at it this weekend at Anderson Stadium. Duke victorious last night in the series opener. The Devils go for the series win today. Sanaa Thompson and the Tar Heels, they've got other ideas. They would love a rubber game tomorrow afternoon. A check of the ACC standings on this Saturday after the Grand Slam heard around college softball last night out west. There will be no undefeated team in the ACC this year. Florida State takes loss number 1. That brings Duke a little bit closer to the Seminoles at the top of the conference standings. Hey there, folks. Happy Saturday. My name is Matt Krause. She's Rain Wilson. Played in this rivalry for the Blue Devils. And Rain, last night, offense galore. Sanaa Thompson, the table setter for North Carolina, with 3 hits.
Yeah, and for Carolina, obviously not the ending that you want, 11-6 loss, but your bright spot is your leadoff hitter. Your leader goes 3 for 4 and hits a bomb late in the game to get her team right back into it. There's a number of bright spots for this Carolina team, and Sanaa Thompson really leads the way. They're going to need her today and tomorrow if they're going to take this series and cement a spot in the NCAA tournament down the stretch. And for Duke, there's also quite a bit of bright spots. 5 hitters hitting home runs last night. It was Deanna Jennings with the first pitch of the game, a line drive, and then Tyrena Jones, Amina Vega, KK Mathis, Addie Matthews, up and down this lineup. They showed off the power here at Hitters Ballpark. Duke will look to continue that today, and if you're Carolina, you are hoping to contain the powerful offense of the Blue Devils.
Duke padding out 11 runs and claiming the series opening victory. Amina Vega out of the 2 spot. Her 61 runs scored this season, second in the ACC behind only the aforementioned Sanaa Thompson.
Yeah, 2 of the best players in the ACC and in the country, and Amina Vega and Sanaa Thompson, and they are going to need her to be consistent down the stretch if they want to be a top 16 team and make it back to Oklahoma City for the first time since 2024.
Deanna Jennings leads off for Duke. Hit the first pitch of the game last night over the center field fence. Part of a 2-hit game for her. She also singled in the contest. Ball and a strike on Jennings. 441 average on the season, second on the Duke roster behind only the aforementioned Vega. Stands on deck for Duke. One, 2. Duke Stormtroopers, or Blue Devils, white from head to toe today. Winners of 21 of their last 23. 13 of their last 14 ACC series. Trying to make that 14 of 15. They can secure a victory today. Maxton ahead in the count. Two-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a good start for Carly Maxton. The native of the first state is the first pitcher for the Tar Heels today.
Yeah, the junior is a veteran in the circle, transferred from NC State, and you look at the numbers here. 5-10 years ago, 4.09 ERA would feel inflated, but right now in college softball, you got to respect the offenses. And Carly Maxton, right there, executed the full arsenal. Went up in the zone, low to mid-60s, so not going to blow it by you, but when she mixes well, what she did against Deanna Jennings there, she has success, and what a great start for the junior.
Ball 1 to Amina Vega. Vega reached base every single plate appearance against Liberty in the midweek and the first 3 plate appearances last night with 2 walks sandwiched around a home run. Was finally retired in the 5th on a ground out to second base. 2-0.
Yeah, they're maxing going right back inside with the drop ball against these lefties, which have the statistical advantage against Carly Maxton, the righty. That's going to be a key pitch. If she can get in on the hands, locate it, have it drop off the table, that's a tough pitch to hit if you're a lefty getting your barrel out.
3 lefties in the Duke lineup. Jennings and Vega right at the top, then Layla Lamar hitting in the 5 spot for Marissa Young's team. .30 count on the veteran second baseman Amina Vega. Back up the middle, roller into center field. The Blue Devils have their first hit. Vega continues to find her way on base in an extremely high clip. So some traffic behind Maxton. Next up, she'll deal with Jessica Oakland, right-handed hitting shortstop for Duke. First righty batter in the Blue Devil 9. Minnesota transfer. First pitch swings a foul ball. Last night, the Tar Heels used 4 pitchers in the circle. Kenna-Rae Dark did not record an out. And Jill Livengood, Lily Parrish, Kendall Frost finished the job. The first appearance of the series for Maxton. Rain, how is she different in terms of the challenge from the arms that the Blue Devils saw last night?
You know, it's just a different look. Maxton obviously has a really elite drop ball. But at the end of the day, with not only the analytics that all of these offenses have at their fingertips, but the machines that can replicate any pitcher you might see, I don't know if there's a huge adjustment being made, but rather for Carolina, if they can command early and then expand and get Duke to chase out of the zone, which is a tough task, I think that for me is the lynching pin and the key to success.
Much easier said than done there. 1-2 on Oakland, the 3rd straight 400 hitter at the top of the Duke lineup. Duke as a team, batting .344 on the year, came into the weekend top 20 nationally. With a runner on the 1-2. Oakland, a roller to second. On to first it goes. Vega evaded the tag on her way by, so she's in scoring position. And Oakland is retired 4-3 on the ground out. Jennings to Leggett.
That's a nice pitch by Maxton to go in on the hands of Oakland, and really close here by Jennings to get the tag and the out at first base. Elects to go with the out at first in Oakland. Early in this game, outs are critical. And so far, Maxton having command of both sides of the plate, which is key.
With 2 down, she'll face Tarina Jones, Duke's leader in home runs with 15 of them. Hit a 3-run shot in the first inning last night. Transfer from Purdue was 1 for 4. One delivery from Maxton. Maxton went away and missed on the first pitch, but comes back inside under the hands and gets the call for strike 1.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so difficult against this Duke team. You can't miss over the middle, obviously, and you have to be able to go to both sides consistently. Otherwise, they're going to pick a side of the plate and they're going to sell out.
Jones, fly ball, center field. Thompson has it measured, and Maxton begins her afternoon by putting a 0 on the scoreboard. 1-out single does nothing for Duke. Tar Heels coming to bat after this. Season when the Tar Heels score first. Emily Leggett and her teammates will try and do just that here in the home half of the first inning.
Yeah, and we talked about Sanaa Thompson and her hot start last night in the series, but Emily Leggett also with the solo shot, 21 homers on the year, 4th in all of Division I. And so, I mean, that statistic's got to feel good to put up a 0 against this Duke offense, who put up a 4 spot last night, and Leggett will be a huge part of that.
Emily Leggett 21st home run of the season last night. Last year's season-long Carolina leader, Carly Myrtle, hit 17. Again, has already blown through that. Here's Sanaa Thompson, 3-hit game last night, including a home run in her own right. Such a potent table setter at the top of the Tar Heel order. Junior from Georgia. One ball and one strike on Thompson. Both Leggett and Thompson coming into this game hitting at least .490. Mix of speed, mix of power, leadership and experience for Thompson. She's the 3-year Tar Heel. You saw Leggett waiting her turn. She'll bat third this inning. First year at Carolina for Leggett. Ball 3. Thompson, not somebody you want to issue a leadoff walk to.
Yeah, certainly not, especially with who you have behind her. We talk about Leggett, but also Lexi Roberts, her ability to put balls in play, create chaos, which is what they did last night in the top half of the first, bottom half of the first.
So leadoff walk to Thompson, issued by Ava Bradshaw. We did not see Bradshaw last night in the series opener. She'll make the start in the circle for Duke today.
Yeah, the sophomore has been a key part of this bullpen there. And 42 1/3 innings pitch, coming off a redshirt year. So a redshirt freshman in terms of eligibility, and the key there that I circle is the 29 free passes. She'll work mostly east to west, has a 5-pitch mix. So kind of like her counterpart, Carly Maxton, can use all of the tools. The key is going to be commanding the zone early. When this team, we talk about the stretch they had early in this year, 9-9, kind of a tough start, but definitely battle tested. The one thing that they wanted to work on was limiting the free pass. Of course, the walk to begin this game here today.
Bunt Denton by Lexi Roberts. That's a successful sacrifice. Duke had 5 infielders against Roberts. We saw them do that last night. They bring it back today. But Roberts does her job and pushes Thompson to scoring position. As cliche as it sounds, anybody on base is in scoring position when Emily Leggett is at the plate. She owns 21 of the now 88 home runs the Tar Heels have hit this year. Former Virginia Tech Hokie in year 1 in Chapel Hill. On a strike on Leggett. Tough challenge for Bradshaw in the home half of the first. The Tar Heel team looking for their 2nd win this season against a ranked opponent. Took a game against Virginia in a home series in early March. Duke, meanwhile, they've won 21 of their last 23. They are undefeated in true road games this year. Darcy Young's team back up in the top 16 in the RPI, setting themselves up well for the postseason. Leggett a roller to second. Vega handles it. And Duke solves the challenge of Emily Leggett in her first at bat of the day. Thompson does go to third.
It's a really nice job by Bradshaw there to come back after the walk to Sanaa Thompson. And I think, you know, the walk doesn't just happen because Ava Bradshaw's not locked in. It's because you're facing one of the best batters in the country. And you've got to hit your spots. And you don't want to miss over the middle. And so, I mean, honestly, given all the power that Sanaa Thompson has, you never want to give a leadoff walk. But if you do to that player, then you can get 2 outs quickly, especially getting in on the hands of Leggett. That's a good sign if you're Ava Bradshaw and this Duke team.
Bradshaw, the 2022 Gatorade Michigan Softball Player of the Year, will face Shelby Barbie with a runner at third and 2 out. Barbie's 2nd year Tar Heel. Average dipped down under 400 last night. Still owns 26 extra base hits this year out of the cleanup spot. Bradshaw's command on the outside corner to right-hander is not there in the early going.
Yeah, and that's going to be key, because then you get in these high leverage counts for hitters and Barbie. Now Barbie can pick a side, sell out for that speed. And even in a 3-0 count here, I'm giving her the green light. She's got enough power to give her team a 2-0 lead right now. And so it doesn't get any easier for Bradshaw. You can't nibble around the corners and miss. But of course, if you miss middle, bad things happen too.
A 4-pitch walk. 2 free passes issued by Bradshaw in the first inning.
Yeah, and you're right, Matt. It's that glove side command with the drop ball and the curveball that just struggling to locate to these righties right now. But in that first inning, it's kind of a, you got to roll the dice in the first inning as pitchers find a rhythm, get comfortable. A big moment early in this one, though.
For what it's worth, Duke entered this series last in the ACC in terms of walks issued this year. First pitch strike on Michelle Tarpey, the Carolina right fielder.
It'll be also interesting to see how Carolina plays this first and third situation with 2 outs. Do they give Barbie the green light to extend the second, put 2 runners in scoring position? And then how does Duke play it?
Tarpey rolls the 0-1. Shortstop to first, Oakland to Stafford. Tar Heels do not score. Bradshaw walks a pair, but no damage against her. Scoreless to the second. Duke looking to secure their 6th ACC series win in as many tries to start off this season. That's notable because on the doorstep of conference play in late February, Duke's win-loss record was not where the Blue Devils expected it to be. They were a 500 ball club, conceding nearly 6 runs a game on February 25th. Since then, Marissa Young's team has caught fire, and the run prevention a big reason why. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a couple years ago, they had only lost 7 games throughout the entire regular season. So to split the first 18, go 9-9, talking to head coach Marissa Young about how she managed that with her team. And it really came down to, hey, we want to be battle tested early, get those key ranked wins to put us in a good position in May. Layla Lamar leads off for Duke, the daughter of head coach Marissa Young. Third of the 3 left-handed batters. First-year Blue Devil who transferred back home from Florida. Time called by our home plate umpire, Derek Wilkins. Duke started their year with a loss to Boston University and then ripped off 7 straight wins. Those back-to-back tough weekends. The Clearwater Invitational and the Mary Nutter out in Palm Springs put Duke into a hole. The low point, the 9-9 mark, February 25th. Since then, though, just 2 defeats in their last 23 games. Key series wins over Virginia Tech, taking 2 or 3 at home. Stanford taking 2 or 3 at home. Coach Young's team swept Virginia last weekend. A Virginia team that, by the way, won the opener against Virginia Tech last night. Big mid-season turnarounds. 1-2 pitch from Carly Maxton to Lamar. 2-2. Tar Heel fans wanted the call. Mr. Wilkins said no.
Right now, Maxton have a ton of success going into the lefties. I thought this one creeped a bit in, but Raina Blackwell again makes every pitch look competitive. That's a good pitcher's pitch, not something she gets the call on, but if I'm Maxton, I'm staying there against these lefties throughout this game.
Lamar makes contact with the 2-2, handled by Barbie across the diamond in time. Three straight set down by Maxton after the one-out single in the first.
Yeah, it's just a great mix here because the pitch before rides up on the hands of Layla Lamar, and then you go away. And so Lamar has to fight off that pitch in and be able to cover the outside part of the plate. So Maxton being able to mix there keeps Lamar off timing, gets the weak ground ball in the first out in the second.
Here's the player who did a little bit of everything last night. KK Mathis for Duke. Hit one of the 5 home runs for the Blue Devils as the DP. Additionally, Mathis appeared in the circle last night. Picked up the first win of the season for her. Had been playing almost exclusively as a hitter up until late March. Now has made 4 appearances in the circle, all since March 31st. Ball and a strike on the Ohio native, Mathis. Ten of her 22 hits have gone for extra bases this year. One pitch. Mathis, fly ball, left field. There's home run number 7. Have yourself a weekend, KK Mathis.
It was the first career win last night in the circle for KK Mathis. Her second bomb in the series in as many days. This is a drop ball that creeps out of the middle, and KK Mathis does not miss it. On time, barrel out and extended, hunting a pitch, and up into the beautiful trees here in Chapel Hill.
1-0 Blue Devils. Kyrie Rodriguez stands in now. The first pitch strike on the Duke catcher. Rodriguez was lifted last night for Gabriella Shattuck, but back in the starting lineup today and tags that elevated pitch to right, nestles in the glove of Tarpey for out number 2. Carly Maxton gives up the 1-out home run. Back-to-back innings in which she's retired the leadoff batter, then given up a hit with 1 out. Jayla Stafford will stand in. Stafford banged her 7th double of the season last night, the freshman from Southern California.
And I think if you're Carly Maxton, great bounce back there, but ultimately if you can limit the long ball to being solo shots today for both of these teams, I think that's the key. And I know a pitching coach never wants to share that message, that it's okay to give up a home run, but we expect them here at Anderson with both of these offenses, how they've been playing, how the ball's been flying so far this weekend.
Because these teams are so high scoring, Duke nearly 7 runs a game on the year, North Carolina nearly 9 runs a game on the season. This is not the type of game that's probably going to end 1-0. Stranger things have happened, but it feels like a solo home run is not what's going to beat you over the course of this weekend.
I doubt it. Yeah, I'm not a gambling woman, Matt, but I would put my life savings on the fact that this game will not end 1-0. To your point, just so much offense, a hitter's ballpark, all the factors at play to see a shootout.
17 combined runs last night, 11-6 final score in the series opener. 3-1 count on Rodriguez. Maxton ready. And Rodriguez walks. 2-out base runner for Duke. Brings Adeline Matthews to the plate. First walk issued by Maxton today. And pitching coach Matty Holland will go to the circle to talk with the NC State transfer. Last outing for Maxton was against her former team a week ago yesterday. Big improvement for Carly Maxton in the offseason after transferring in was developing her drop ball. Carolina's coaching staff excited as to how that made her a better pitcher in her first year in Carolina Blue. One more year of eligibility after this. Towns in Delaware, who, yes, based upon the first three letters of both her first and last name, they call her Carmax.
I love that.
The way pitching should be. Facing Matthews, the 9-hole hitter in the Duke lineup, and another first pitch ball. Good game yesterday for the freshman from Tallahassee. A couple of hits, a single in the third, homered in the fifth. The Blue Devils a little bit closer to her hometown Seminoles in the ACC standings after FSU's first loss of conference play. Their 25-game win streak snapped last night at Stanford. What a finish to that game. Addison Shepard walk-off grand slam for the Cardinal to win it 9-8. Maxton doesn't get the outside corner. Matthews ahead in the count. Maxton evens it back up. Critical pitch coming. Top of the order with Jennings and then Vega awaiting for Duke. If you're the Tar Heels, you would love to face them to start an inning clean in the third. Matthews aiming to flip this lineup card over here in inning number 2. Takes ball 3.
Yeah, and for Duke, I mean, to have Addie Matthews batting above 300 and how patient she is and her plate discipline at the 9th spot, just, it doesn't get any easier as you work through either of these lineups. For Carly Maxton, just missing right around the zone here, but has to attack with the top of the order on deck.
Does attack and strikes out. Matthews looking. But Duke strikes first in the ball game. KK Mathis continues her memorable weekend. 7th home run of the season for the Blue Devil DP. 1-0 Duke. To approach the North Carolina Tar Heels softball team's remaining schedule. If you're a bottle of Mountain Dew Baja Blast half full person, you say that the Tar Heels have potent opportunities to try and enhance their NCAA tournament resume. But if you're the more glass half empty negative person, then you're going to say, ooh boy, Carolina's got a difficult schedule down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at just, this weekend alone and then having to go to Florida State, having to go to Virginia Tech, facing South Carolina and ECU. It's a tough stretch, but I think they needed these games to have an opportunity to bolster the resume. I think that's why you see Megan Smith-Lyon structure her schedule the way she has, of early on, a lot of wins, not as many top 25 RPI opportunities, knowing that the latter half of the conference season was going to be tough and was going to bring forward those road win opportunities against high RPI teams.
Carolina 29-10 on the year. They started 17-0. The first 15 of those 17 were all against mid-major opponents. And then wins 16 and 17 against Boston College in the first 2 ACC games of the year. The Eagles currently in last place in the ACC standings. So while win volume is certainly on the Tar Heels side, the win quality, that is what Carolina is trying to build upon. As we just showed you, it's not like they have a lack of opportunities the rest of the way. MC Eaton skies the 2-1, shallow left field. It's the shortstop, Oakland, 2 steps onto the grass, who puts it away.
And just going back to that point, Matt, you know, you don't want to beat up your team too much early on, because you maybe think maybe the confidence is lacking. But for this team in Carolina, you know, 42nd in RPI, 110th in strength of schedule. And look at their RPI versus top 50 RPI, 1 and 8. And so not the, you know, not the wins that they would hope for. I mean, they hosted Arizona State twice. That was an opportunity to get a top 50 RPI win. Of course, the opportunities are galore over the next few weeks, but that 7-0 start, although it can bring confidence, if at the latter half of the year you go for 9 against 3 conference opponents, which I don't think they will, then you kind of got to balance those things for the NCAA tournament. It's a tough job. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, and Megan Smith-Lyon said prior to the year that knowing how difficult Carolina's ACC schedule was this year, Carolina's ACC schedule rotation in this, you could say, year B of the schedule rotation, they get Florida State, they get Virginia Tech, Stanford coming into Chapel Hill. She wanted to balance out the number of Quad 1 opportunities with Quad 4 opportunities, which means games where you're going to be heavily favored to win. And the Tar Heels, to their credit, they have taken care of business in all of those games. And Coach Smith-Lyon said, you know, under the previous regime, there would be times where Carolina was inconsistent, would drop some of those midweek games. They have not done that. It's just, can they grab those quality wins to enhance the resume down the stretch?
That's a great point. They've never, I don't want to say played down, but played to the level of their opponents. And that's really hard to do. And that means that Megan Smith-Lyon has developed a disciplined team, a disciplined culture. I mean, making the tournament last year, going to Knoxville, it's very clear to me that this program, this culture is in great hands. And players want to go play for her. And hearing her talk, I can't blame them. I mean, they love wearing Carolina blue, and they love playing for her.
Active in the portal for a second consecutive year, one of those newcomers from Texas Tech, Reagan Jennings. 3-2 count on the Carolina second baseman. The pitch. And Jennings works a walk. Third walk drawn by the Tar Heels against Bradshaw. Couldn't capitalize on the 2 in the first inning. They'll try and change that here in the second.
Yeah, we talked about, you know, Emily Legetts and Thompson, these power sluggers throughout this lineup, but Reagan Jennings is quietly putting together a great series for this team in the bottom part of this order, especially passing it back to Raina Blackwell, who had a big night last night too. And so it's a great sign if you're Corey Lyon, Megan Smith-Lyon, and the rest of the staff.
Here's Blackwell, the Carolina catcher. Yes, Duke won the game last night 11-6, but they were up 8-0 at one juncture. Legette hit a solo home run to turn 8-0 into 8-1. It was Blackwell's 3-run homer in the fourth that really kept the game out of run rule territory the rest of the way. Ensured that Carolina made it all the way into the 7th inning and gave the Tar Heels a chance for the remainder of the night. Critical at bat for Carolina, even if they didn't win the game.
You're exactly right, Matt. And when you look at the hit totals for these teams, Duke with 12 hits last night, Carolina with 11. I mean, it's not like they were outmatched offensively. Just didn't have those key clutch hits. Duke with the 5 home runs, Carolina with 3 respectively, as it looks like head coach Marciano is going to go have a conversation with Bradshaw.
3-0 count on Blackwell. Already a runner on base via a walk this inning in Jennings.
And I think you look at the ball strike total and it tells the whole story of, hey, you never want to be throwing more balls than strikes, obviously. Even if you're 1-1, that's not ideal. But to be close to 20 balls to 10 strikes, it sounds like they're having it looks like they're having a conversation regarding cues, regarding feel, regarding rhythm. But to throw 20 balls and 10 strikes and to still have a scoreless game is a good sign if you're Bradshaw.
Marissa Young, the only head coach in the history of the Duke softball program. A couple of ACC tournament championships. That 2024 team went all the way to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. Her team has hosted an NCAA regional in 4 consecutive years and tracking to make it 5. 1-0 lead here today, but North Carolina threatening. Blackwell shows the bunt, pulls back and takes a strike. Brenshaw's 3-1. Count full. Visit to the circle seems to have worked.
Yeah, just an opportunity to break up the rhythm, give Bradshaw a breath. And also, it looks like Brianna Blackwell not sitting in her half, but that last pitch to me looked like right down Broadway. And if you're on time, that's a pitch you got to get your swing off on.
Blackwell, a roller to short, flip to second for 1, the turn to first. That's in time. It's a double play.
And Ava Bradshaw gets herself into the jam and gets out of the jam with a Duke defense and double play. Duke retains the 1-0 lead.
Top of the third, a Blue Devil team that's currently top 15 in the RPI. They jumped up a spot with the road win last night. Strength of schedule really solid and a lot of quality wins. 16-8 against the RPI top 50. The mission for Duke is keep these numbers where they are, if not add to them, make them look even better to aim to host a 5th consecutive Durham NCAA regional. Carly Maxton back to work in the circle for the Tar Heels. Face the top of the Duke order, beginning with Deanna Jennings, who pops it into the glove of Shelby Barbie to begin the top of the third.
Shelby Barbie reads the hands immediately. This pitch gets up and on the hands of Deanna Jennings, who's looking to do a drag bunt. But instead, easy pop-up out. Great start if you're Maxton here against the top of the lineup against Duke.
The 1 run that scored for Duke, 1-out solo homer for KK Mathis last inning. Nina Vega has been red hot of late. Singled in the first inning today. Had a homer, a couple of walks yesterday. She's only been retired once in the last 3 games for the Blue Devils. With an average like that, it's been a trend most of the year. Duke, thanks to the slow start, probably not in position to earn the right to host a super regional. Of course, they could be in a spot where if they host a regional and then there's the upset in the regional that they're paired up with, they could earn the hosting opportunity that way, kind of backdoor host, if you will. But hosting a regional very much on the table for the Blue Devils, and Amina Vega continues to hit the cover off the ball. That one's down in the right field corner. Vega will stop at second. It's a one-out double. Ball gets away. Vega had a notion to go to third. She'll hold second base, though.
Again, Maxton tries to go in on the hands of Amina Vega, and this is why she's so good. Hits away well, but then will get her barrel out on an inside pitch and keep this fair. Leggett almost stabs it out from the air. Tarpey goes into the corner to make the play. Amina Vega stands up at second. Luckily for Carolina, though, that ball was airmailed to third. But great backup there by Maxton to prevent Vega from taking advantage of the extra 60 feet.
So Vega on the base pass. Maxton will face Jessica Oakland. 6 RBI game in the midweek for Oakland against Liberty. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to second. Good job by Maxton. Missed well away on the first pitch. Brings it over the heart of the plate. 1-1 count. Next delivery.
Yeah, Maxton's pitched really well. I mean, 43, now 44 pitches through 2 1/3 is quite a bit of workload, but man, that's what you have to do against this Duke team. They're gonna make you throw pitches. They're gonna spoil pitches out of their zone. I think her command so far has been really, really good.
Three-one on Oakland with Duke's home run leader Tarina Jones standing on deck. And Oakland takes a walk.
Yeah, Jess Oakland just never gonna bail you out as a pitcher. I mean, she will take a pitch that's about an inch, quarter inch off the plate, won't chase. And now it becomes a conversation for Raina Blackwell, which I love the decision there to go have a conversation with her pitcher, Maxton. How do we want to throw Jones? What feels good? Because Jones can hit the drop ball really well. Her last time up got a changeup that made her fly out to center, but it'll be interesting to see how they approach Jones here with runners in scoring position.
It's Vega at second who doubled. Oakland walked, she's at first. Duke may call upon a pinch runner here for Oakland. That is the case. Leah Terrell, the Greensboro senior, into the game for the Blue Devils. Interesting decision here by Marissa Young to run for the trail runner here.
Yeah, especially early in the ballgame.
The powerful Jones at the plate.
But one piece, too, to that decision that we're not privy to is the wear and tear at this point in the season.
This is game 42 for Duke, yeah. How do you as a player have those conversations with your coaches, being honest about where your body's at this point in the year?
You know, I think I was pretty bad at that in a sense that, you know, no matter how painful things were, never was going to tell the coach that unless it was a point where I was debilitating where I probably couldn't play as well as the team needed me to. And I know a lot of my teammates were like that, but actually a lot of that is routed through the athletic training staff, which, I don't know if those folks get enough of a shout out on broadcast, but they are not only athletic trainers, they are, caregivers, they are therapists in a lot of ways. You're in the training room for these women at this point in the season. I imagine 80% of their players are in the training room 3 hours pregame doing all kinds of stuff. And then after the game, getting ice, getting stim, getting all these treatments, I should say. That's the word. When you come into treatment. And so those folks are key to a program and key into keeping a season sustainable for how long it is.
Long season, just over 50 regular season games, and you get your conference tournament, regionals, super regionals. If all goes according to plan, a trip to the Women's College World Series. Dangerous spot for Maxton, a 3-0 count on Jones. Swings at the 3-0, fly ball to center. Thompson is back and it's gone! Second 3-run home run in as many days for Tarina Jones. Team leading 16th on the season.
And Matt, I think you said it yesterday. It's the 4th time this year that Tarina Jones has had back-to-back games with a bomb. A drop ball outside edge and does not miss it. Look at the hinge, look at the barrel path. Tarina Jones is set up to hit the drop ball well, but the key there for me, it's a 3-0 count. You have to have a lot of confidence in your hitters if you're Associate Head Coach Taylor White. And the third base coach for this team gives her the green light, and Jones does not miss it.
I told you yesterday, Rain, you heard it first here, that when Jones homers once, she's going to homer again.
You told me. I remember.
Layla Lamar grounds out.
Well, you just supported me with the statistics there in the sense that, like, when you watch Tarina Jones weekend to weekend, she does have that streaky nature where when she is on, she is on. And, 4 separate 2-game stretches where she goes back-to-back with home runs. It's remarkable. And Layla Lamar there, the line drive off the foot of Maxton. Carolina gets the out, but another hard-hit ball from Duke.
It officially goes in the books as a 1-4-3. First pitch strike on KK Mathis, who hit the first home run of the season, or rather of the game for Duke today. So Duke, for the 2nd game in a row, leads 4-0. Crooked number here in the 3rd for the Blue Devils. Mathis is homered in both games of this series. Jones is homered in both games of this series. Mathis guides it into left for a base hit. A 2-hit game for KK Mathis.
Yeah, 1 through 9 for Duke right now. Offense is clicking on all cylinders. And this is a changeup. Watch KK Mathis kill time with the legs. Sinks into it, gets a pitch on the outside edge. That is not a bad executed pitch or poorly executed pitch by Maxton. It's just a better execution there by KK Mathis in the box.
Kyra Rodriguez flew out to right her first time, swings at the first pitch, a roller to short. Outlaw over to first, retires the side. Duke adds 3 more. Tarina Jones clears the center field fence.
want to mess around with this OU.
It is gone!
She slams it into the ground.
Series finale tomorrow, Oklahoma and Texas. Sooners victorious on the road last night, 3-0 in game 1 of that series. Big weekend across college softball. There's Oklahoma and Texas, they've accounted for the last 5 national championships. Every one of them since the sport returned following the 2020 hiatus. Ava Bradshaw continues on for Duke, a Blue Devils team that reached the Women's College World Series in 2024. They've hosted a regional each of the last 4 years, aiming to make it 5 in a row this year. North Carolina's Reese Outlaw leads off, 9-1-2 for the Tar Heels. Carolina last year qualifying for a regional for the first time since 2019. Went 0-2 in Knoxville against Ohio State and Miami of Ohio. Aiming to return to the postseason this year, and they have their sights set on breaking that barrier and reaching their first ever super regional. One, two. Outlaw gets jammed, stays alive.
Yeah, Matt, you and I were talking yesterday about just the University of North Carolina women's sports, how much prestige there is here in Chapel Hill. It's not going to be long before they break through to win a regional and head to their first super regional under that woman there.
Megan Smith-Lyon understands the culture of athletics in Chapel Hill, being an alum herself.
Yep.
Played for the Tar Heels from 1996 to 99. There's all those NCAA appearances for Carolina. 2-2. Ball 3 on Outlaw.
And I might regret saying this publicly, but I told you yesterday, although I went to Duke, I was a Carolina fan as a kid. I wanted to play softball in Chapel Hill so badly, and I think so many young women who grow up in North Carolina or Virginia, or really anywhere across the country, empathize.
Outlaw makes contact with that one. Rodriguez had to hesitate for a moment, realized that that ball was a potential out, unable to get there. Let's take another look at this.
Check out the check swing, and then actually looked like Kyra Rodriguez got the nod from Ava Bradshaw that, hey, right in front, unable to make the play. Outlaw lives to see another pitch.
Outlaw drives the 3-2 into right, and a tumbling catch. Wow! Layla Lamar! Are you serious?
Sports Center top 10, you gotta clip this one. I mean, look how much ground is covered. Drilled into right center field, and then the full extension dive timed perfectly by the sophomore Lamar. Her teammates with their hands up. Lamar showing it off in right field.
Thompson swings at the first pitch and has Carolina's first hit of the game on a ball that rolls to the wall. She'll speed into second with a 1-out double. But yesterday it was Deanna Jennings of Duke who made a great play in center field. I think Layla Lamar just one-upped her.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's a game of inches, right? Because if that ball trickles out of her glove, all of a sudden it's a 1-4 ball game. Still in favor of Duke, but more momentum, nobody out, and the rally going. Instead, the Sanaa Thompson double happens with the bases are cleared, and Mallory Wheeler will come in the game for Duke.
So Wheeler will take over with Thompson out at second base. 4th hit of the series for Thompson. Homered last night, and now as Carolina begins their second trip through the order here in the 3rd today, she bangs a double. Mallory Wheeler in the circle for Duke. Second time that we see Wheeler in as many ball games.
Yeah, the sophomore will come in usually in the middle of the game, so try to give her team some lane. We saw her 1 1/3 last night, 2 hits, giving up 1 walk. And you look at the numbers, and a lot of these pitchers for Duke sit around 60, 65 innings pitched, Cassie Curve at 100. But the key here is for the sophomore, not going to strike you out more often than not, but what she can do is mix pitches, mid-60s. And the last note there, the energy is electric. You'll see her engage her teammates. You'll see her nod her head, and you can feel the energy coming into tight moments, and they were going to need her to give depth against the best hitters in this Carolina order.
Inning in the third for Wheeler last night to close out the ball game. Duke's 11-6 victory to open up the series. Now the Blue Devils in front 4-0 in game 2. Win secures Duke's 14th ACC series victory in their last 15 tries. The only exception, a home series last year against Florida State. Lexi Roberts shows bunt, takes the first pitch strike from Wheeler.
Yeah, and it's tough with the 5-person infield. Addie Matthews coming into play as somewhat shortstop you see in the middle of your screen, but I tried to poke something through. Duke has proven since the first inning yesterday that they're willing to shade in and play for the bunt, but trailing 4 runs, you need a big inning. I like that Lexi Roberts shows it to bring the infield in, but to attack.
Wheeler's 2-1 pitch on Roberts is strike 2. Mallory Wheeler started her college career last year at Louisiana as a Ragin' Cajun. 32 appearances last season. 2-2. Ball 3.
And as folks have probably guessed, when you bring a 5th person into the infield, you leave a part of the outfield completely open. And so high risk, high reward with a 5-man infield, 5-woman infield.
There's a lot of space out there.
Yeah, and as a hitter, you know, Lexi Roberts, I imagine, is seeing this from a lot of defenses based on where her spray chart goes. You're not going to overthink it and try to do something crazy different. She's had so much success using her speed, using the ground to her advantage. Even with the 5th person who takes away that ground ball up the middle potentially, they still have to make that play under the pressure of her speed.
Payoff. Ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for North Carolina, trying to answer back after Duke struck for 3 runs in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, and that's not the outcome you want if you're Mallory Wheeler and head coach Morrissey and also managing the pitching staff. You definitely don't want a free pass to a hitter that is going to put something in play with Leggett coming to the dish now.
Emily Leggett, 21 home runs this season for North Carolina. She stands in with 2 on base in front of her. First pitch swinging. Fly ball right field. 22 home runs.
And folks, this is what a professional hitter looks like. Her last at bat, she got jammed on the inner half, grounded out to right. This time, she says, throw me that again, and does not miss it. A 4-0 lead now turns to 4-3. Emily Leggett again making it look way too easy. Her 22nd bomb of the year in a huge moment for Carolina.
Tar Heels respond to Duke's 3-run top of the 3rd on a 3-run homer from Tarina Jones. Their home run leader, North Carolina's home run leader, Emily Leggett, blasts a 3-run shot of her own in the bottom of the frame. And these two offensive-minded teams continue to trade punches. Shelby Barbie walked her first time, gets a first look today at Wheeler. 0-2.
Yeah, and Shelby Barbie obviously has contributed statistically, but also has been so key in being right behind Leggett. You can't pitch around Leggett because you know you got to get to Barbie. And you can't pitch around them both, otherwise you got the bases loaded. In this case, yeah, you'd walk a run in. But I think that's a situation for Duke that first and second, when you look at Legette's numbers and what she's been able to put together, now second all-time in single-season home runs as a Tar Heel. But I think as this series rolls on, we're not going to see many more opportunities for Legette if Duke chooses to pitch around her.
But that's a spot where with 2 on and 1 out, Duke didn't really have a choice to pitch around her.
They definitely don't. However, I do think that she is that one Barry Bonds-esque athlete that you kind of got to get rid of traditional knowledge of first and second. You don't want to walk the bases loaded. I mean, it just feels automatic for her right now.
Now Shelby Barbie battles to make it 3-2.
But again, then you got to deal with Barbie, who puts together an AB like this, who has 13 home runs on the year. And so that's a difficult decision.
Last night, Duke led 8-0. Tar Heels plated 4, got to 8-4. Ultimately a 5-run Blue Devil victory for the second day in a row, and we expected nothing different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Response.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And with a 4-run lead, it's a different conversation too, because you still have the lead now, even giving up the bomb to Legette. But yeah, this is exactly what we expected. We went through the first couple innings, just 1 run. Oh, maybe it'll be a quieter day. Absolutely not.
Nope. 3-2 on Barbie. Big pitch from Wheeler. Got her. Strikeout by Wheeler, first for the Duke pitching staff this afternoon.
Yeah, this is a big bounce back pitch too. Barbie battled, and then it's a drop ball that got her to expand the zone. Barbie knew it right away. That's ball 4. But when you have great bat to ball skills, sometimes you think you can just battle pitches off and get one over the middle. Wheeler advantage there and a big bounce back out. And now having to face Tarpey.
Michelle Tarpey grounded to shortstop her first time. 6 for 11 last week in the series against NC State, her former team. Pop up to left. Catch made by Oakland. The Tar Heels, though, pull within a run. Emily Legette makes her way into second all-time in North Carolina single-season home run record charts. Ball game here in picturesque Chapel Hill. Good sight lines at Anderson Stadium. Folks a little bit closer to the action. A little more sun for them. It's a trade-off. 4-3 Duke. Emily Legette, team leading 22nd home run of the year. brings the Tar Heels within a run going to the top of the 4th. Carly Maxton's back in the circle for North Carolina. She will face 8, 9, and 1 in the Duke order. Jayla Stafford, Adeline Matthews, and Deanna Jennings. Duke scored 1 in the 2nd, each team with a 3-run homer in the 3rd. So we begin the 4th with the exact same margin in which we started the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Max has pitched well, and you look at the 3-run home run to Tyrena Jones, and that's on a 3-0 count, got behind. Credit Jones for executing, but outside of that, I think Jones has been, or excuse me, Maxton has been really good.
Stafford flies that one to right. Catch made by Tarpey.
Yeah, and even the double to Vega, I mean, that's a pitch that was really well executed, a pitcher's pitch that Vega just executed on. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap. But other than that, again, Maxton being able to locate on both sides of the ball, collect outs, not give up that free pass. I'd keep her in until you see any signs of hard hit balls consistently, which we haven't seen yet from Duke.
Tar Heels yesterday used 4 pitchers to get through the 7 innings. Starting pitcher Kenneray Dark did not record an out, but freshman Jill Livengood pitched well in relief. Lily Parrish, young sophomore, 4 strong innings for her as well.
Yeah, and it doesn't show in today's game, but giving that length in Parrish for Carolina.
Fly ball from Matthews, drifts foul.
Allowed for an opportunity here today to let Maxton go without Duke having seen Maxton last night. And I imagine, you know, it's hard not to put out one of, you feel like maybe one of your strongest arms in last night's game, but the patience, allowing the freshman to get some opportunities to give length. And now today, Maxton at her best.
Bouncer, left side. Barbie flags it, flips it on to first. 3 straight Blue Devils retired for the first time since the first into the 2nd innings.
Yeah, it feels like this is the performance that this Carolina team needed so far, is an arm in the circle that's going to give you length, fill up the zone, let your defense work, and then let the offense take care of itself. And so far today, the offense firing on all cylinders, forcing a change. But now the top of the lineup Maxton has to deal with.
It's the 3rd trip through the lineup for Maxton. Beginning with Jennings, who's a rare 0 for 2 on this game.
Yeah, right now Carolina, Maxton giving a steady diet of inner half to Deanna Jennings. That second pitch looked like Deanna Jennings maybe thought was a little bit in, but a great pitcher's pitch. When you can locate and hit the glove, even if it's in the river, that's a great spot to be, especially if you're going to get that call. Keep going. And now with 0-2, Deanna Jennings has to fight off in, up, away, change. Hard to stay on time in those positions.
Okay, hand up, guilty as charged. What is the river?
The river is, that's a great question. The river is the space between the plate and the chalk line. So that little area, not over the plate, but not over the chalk of the batter's box, is the river. So a river is a stream typically flowing from north to south. Just kidding. He looked at me like,
I was like, oh, okay.
in.
Yeah, there we go. Science lesson. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jennings. Maxton looking for a 1-2-3 top of the 4th. Everybody ready to go. We'll do it again on 2-2. Here it comes. Ball 3. Vega waits on deck for Duke.
and again, Raina Blackwell makes this inner half drop ball look like a strike. It's a ball all day long, but the frame, no movement down, no wasted movement up, and the Carolina fans fighting for their pitcher.
and Jennings works a 2-out walk. So the dreams of the 1-2-3 inning spoiled by the 2-out walk to the Duke leadoff batter.
Yeah, and credit Jennings there, taking some pitches right around the zone, not biting on the outer half. And it looks like they might make a change here.
Maxton taking off the pitch comm device from her left wrist, handing it to Maddie Holub, the pitching coach. And it will be a pitching change for the Tar Heels. Kendall Frost comes in for Carolina to face Amina Vega with 2 outs and a runner aboard at first.
Yeah, Kendall Frost came in very briefly last night, was able to collect an out, 1 batter faced, 3 pitches thrown. And when you look at how many arms this Carolina team has, Kendall Frost has really stepped up and been one of the key pieces to this bullpen. And the sophomore will need to step up here against Amina Vega. As you take a look at the numbers, 25 appearances for the sophomore, 68 2/3, 60 punch-outs. So she is their best strikeout thrower with her stuff. Only 28 free passes. The key for her is to limit the misses over the middle of the plate. She'll work with 3 speeds, east to west. Heavy screwball, and kind of has a deceptive motion. Her release point is not typically where you think. She moves her hips out of the way and creates a release point more towards her glove hand side. But that heavy screwball will be key, especially against these lefties working away from the barrel. And she'll need to work all 3 speeds.
All freshman selection in the American Conference last year at ECU. Transferring within the state like Maxton before her, albeit not in conference. Frost will inherit a runner at first with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Facing Amina Vega. Vega doubled her last time up. She is 2 for 2 today. And has reached base in 5 of her 6 plate appearances in this series. A little excuse me roller back to Frost, throws to first, got her! Close play, but in time to retire Vega. Duke does not score in the top of the 4th. Halfway home, Devils by a run. This mid-inning promotion was contested with Oreos. That gentleman with the chocolate chip cookie, he was able to get that thing in his mouth really quickly. Is there one that's easier than the other? I don't know.
That's a good question. Just based on, anecdotal evidence there, it looks like maybe the Oreo is more challenging. I thought it was traditionally an Oreo thing.
Right.
Maybe they ran out of Oreos.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
I mean, there's so many different flavors of Oreos nowadays that you feel like it would be hard to run out. I thought with the chocolate chip, like, it's got a larger surface area.
Right. But the Oreos have the ridges.
Right. There's more traction there. These are life's grand mysteries. 4-3 ball game. Duke leads it by a run, home half of the fourth. Tar Heels sending up Eaton, Jennings, and Blackwell, 6, 7, and 8 in the Carolina order. Eaton popped out to shorter first time. MC Eaton, North Carolina native, transferred in from Virginia, has 2 years of eligibility. Very similar path to Shelby Barbie, albeit a year behind. And sharply hits the 2-1 into left center. Rolls up all the way to the wall. Eaton hustling for second, close play, she's out. Eaton tried to stretch it into 2, and the Blue Devils defensively get her.
They're definitely gonna take a look at this one. This one was drilled. I was shocked they called her out live. Look at the tag, the sliding play in. Looks like that left hand maybe gets in, but with the call on the field being out, that's so critical because you need that indisputable video evidence to prove otherwise. A great play again by Deanna Jennings to get that ball in quickly. And we talk about it being a hitter's ballpark, 200 from left to center to right. But for a double hit that hard, not a lot of time if you're a runner to get to second base.
Rain made the point that the call on the field is that the runner is out. That means there needs to be indisputable video evidence that that call on the field of the runner being out is incorrect. Vega
gets the tag down right at the front of the bag. We take a look at that left hand. And our umpire there, Brad Newton, is right on top of it. And so he probably had the best look in the entire ballpark, but does that tag hit the hand? Does the hand get through, or one of the hands get through? I don't know if we have enough evidence to overturn it. As we take another look at it. Yeah, that's, it almost looks like the Duke players were a little surprised they got the call.
Take one more look at this.
It looks like they're even deciding what they think the call should be. Glove gets down. Yeah, it looks like the tag is on the chest, and we just can't see that left hand, whether it sneaks in there at that point.
Right, from that angle, is it behind the bag, still on the ground, or is it in contact with the bag? Here come the umpires to tell us. And you heard the words there from Derek Wilkins, call stands. It's where that call on the field, the initial call of out, is so important.
Yeah, and there's our umpiring crew right on top. It looks like the tag hits the chest, but we don't see where that left hand ends up. That's a tough call if you're Carolina. If you're Duke, you get away with one there. Or maybe she did make the play in time, but it's a game of inches.
Bang, bang play. So instead of a leadoff base hit for the Tar Heels, it's one out, bases empty for Reagan Jennings. There's a base hit for Eaton, thrown out 8-4. Jennings walked her first time, right?
No, sorry, Matt. I was just going to mention, like, that doesn't happen unless Deanna Jennings stays with that play. It makes it perfect throw in, and Amina Vega with a perfect quick tag down, knowing where she is in relation to the bag. And it's the little things like that as a defense that give you a chance to get a call out there. If Deanna Jennings lets it by her and, oh, shoot, I missed it on the first go-round, doesn't make that perfect throw, MC Eaton is standing on second base.
3-0 count on Jennings. Third of the 3 left-handed batters in the Tar Heel order. Roberts and Leggett, the other 2. Wheeler delivers. Count goes full. Wheeler ready for a payoff pitch here in the last of the fourth with an out. Here it comes. And Jennings works a walk for the second time today. Fifth walk given out by Duke pitching, second from Wheeler.
3-2, another tight one here. Mallory Wheeler stared for a long time, wondering where that pitch was. I think that's up and away, asking those questions. Doesn't miss by much, but the fifth free pass, and credit this Carolina offense, who's been very patient, hasn't expanded, and Jennings again with a great AB.
Now Raina Blackwell. Double play off of her bat the first time up, homered yesterday. With a 1-0 count on Blackwell, catcher Rodriguez will go to the circle to talk things over with Wheeler. Good sign for Duke is that ball to strike is roughly 1-1 for Wheeler. It's almost 2-1 the wrong direction for Ava Bradshaw.
They still definitely want it to be better than that 50% mark. It's a great call out, Matt, in terms of where Bradshaw was compared now to Wheeler.
Fly ball from Blackwell. Tosses the bat away because she's given her team the lead.
Look at the Blackwell bat flip. Knew it right away, drop ball, middle in, and Raina Blackwell on time. Great acceleration through her swing. Launch angle and a smile from the junior. Carolina takes the lead in the only fashion we know for this Carolina team, and that is hitting the ball hard and far.
Home run number 90, 9-0 on the season. Cassidy Curd into the circle for Duke. Heels on top. Blasted it to left and knew it right away that was the 90th homer of the season for her team.
Yeah, just a great swing too. Starts tall, controls the move forward, and then just the epic bat flip to finish that one off. You know, Raina Blackwell is an athlete for me that you've got to circle not only the home run yesterday, the big bomb, of course the one just now, but also how she's played defensively, how she's been able to turn the lineup over, of course, passing the bat to Reese Howell on the 9th spot, but it just doesn't get any easier up and down this lineup, and Raina Blackwell just adds so much depth offensively, and it's a tall task if you're this Duke pitching staff.
Cassidy Curd into the circle for Duke. The Blue Devil ace started last night, and Curd, who tossed 3 2/3, gave up 4 runs yesterday, steps in to face Outlaw.
Yeah, Cassie Curd coming off 3 2/3 yesterday, and what she brings is heat, and it definitely some diversity when you compare her to Mallory Wheeler and Ava Bradshaw. She works up in the zone. Her key, like Wheeler and Bradshaw, is commanding the zone. Cassidy Curd is a veteran who has had success when she's able to hit corners, hit her spots. If she misses middle, offenses can make her pay because she doesn't have a ton of off speed. But the third pitcher on the day for Duke, and credit this Carolina offense, who's been on time for all 3.
Bradshaw started, Wheeler relieved, now Curd. And a 2-1 count on Reese Outlaw, who flew out to right her first time.
Yeah, this is really a moment if you're this Duke pitching staff, you got to buckle down and fill up the zone. It's the 9 spot. Reese Outlaw hasn't been as offensively powerful as the rest of this lineup, and then you got to deal with Sanaa Thompson on deck.
And Outlaw's hit by the pitch. Would have been ball 4 anyway.
Yeah, it would have been ball 4, but gets a bruise along with it. I wonder if it hit the fingertips of Outlaw. I know that hurt. And as a reminder, the hands are not a part of the bat. I know in Little League there's some different rules, but I think head coach Marissa is asking, did she offer for the swing? Did it come off the bat? But I would just check the fingers of Reese Outlaw. If they're purple, is it hit by a pitch? But you got to ask those questions if you're in the other dugout. Fight for your pitcher, because now it gets even more challenging.
Back to the top of the order in Thompson. And the Tar Heels now on the verge of being able to turn this 1-run lead into a more extended cushion in the 4th. One on Thompson, and already activity in the Duke bullpen. KK Mathis up and loosening there. Strike 2 on Thompson. Kurt ahead.
And Matt, going back to yesterday, you know, we talked about at one point in that game it was 8-0, ended up being 11-6. If Carolina doesn't fight back there, maybe they don't chase Cassidy Kurt out of the ball game. Maybe they don't get more data points. Now KK Mathis in the bullpen, they've seen her. So the advantages go back to the Carolina dugout.
Every moment of the series builds upon itself.
That's exactly right. And even just the momentum from yesterday bleeding into today. If Duke slams the door shut, up 8, it's a different look today.
3-2. Thompson to the left side. Close play at second. She's safe. Jones went to Vega. Outlaw hustling from first to second. 2 on, 1 out for the Tar Heels.
This is a slow roller where Tyrena Jones needs to understand the speed and direction of the ball related to the speed on the base path. Outlaw has some speed for this Carolina team, and so that's a conversation pre-pitch of knowing where your speed is, but also with Sanaa Thompson having so much speed, maybe Jones feels the pressure not to go to first.
Roberts dettens the bunts. Jones on to first for the sacrifice. 2 in scoring position, 2 outs for Leggett.
Yeah, nice job there by Tyrena Jones to bounce back, go field the bunt, get an out somewhere, but definitely missed opportunity for Duke to find an out, in which case they would be out of the inning here with Leggett leading off with nobody on, but instead it's the home run hitter, second and third with 2 outs, and if I'm Duke, I'm walking her on 4 pitches.
First base is open. Leggett, with her 22nd home run of the season, a 3-run blast last inning, sees ball 1. And here, if you're Duke, you probably take your chances with Shelby Barbie with the bases loaded.
Yeah, this is not a fun situation if you're Duke either. It's not like you pass on Leggett to get to an easy hitter in Barbie. It's having to deal with both of these athletes, and Leggett right now just feels like an automatic home run threat every time she steps up to the plate.
Bases juiced for Barbie. Walks aplenty drawn by the Tar Heels. They hold a 1-run lead, and Shelby Barbie can change that in a hurry. One of those walks and a strikeout for Barbie today. First pitch, strike one from Kurt. Skips away. Outlaw scores 6-4.
Cassie Kurd goes arm side up, hits the glove of Kyrie Rodriguez, but wild enough to get by her. Another mistake for Duke here in the bottom of the fourth, and Carolina takes advantage.
And a 1-1 count, still with two in scoring position. Barbie skies it, right center. Lamar puts it away. But three more across for the Tar Heels. Blackwell with the homer, and then Carolina adds another. This rivalry series at Anderson Stadium, 8 of them combined yesterday, 4 more combined homers today, and it's North Carolina looking for their second win against a ranked team this season. In front by a pair, onward to the top of the 5th, with Kendall Frost continuing in the circle.
You know, I've never felt this way before this year, but I kind of feel bad for pitchers these days. I mean, it's been a blast to watch as an audience member, to see the long balls, see the bat flips. But it's a tough year to be a pitcher, knowing how much offensive prowess both of these programs have. And it's just been a blast to watch this softball game here today.
Tar Heels came into the series tops in the ACC in scoring and batting average. Duke can put up the offensive numbers as well. As Kendall Frost continues in the circle, she'll face the heart of the Duke order: Jessica Oakland, Tarina Jones, and Layla Lamar. There's an interesting spot for Duke, playing from behind for the first time this series. They led this game 4-0. The last 6 have gone to the Tar Heels. Duke chased the Carolina starter Carly Maxton from the game. Kendall Frost induced a ground out off the bat of Amina Vega, and now begins her first clean inning against the dangerous Oakland. Duke team that's won 21 of their last 23 games, dating back to February 28th. Two-two. Next one. Oakland, roller to third. Barbie a clean throw to first. Infield defense has been strong for the Tar Heels, not only today but all series long. course, there's no defense when the ball goes over the fence. Tarina Jones hits her second 3-run home run in as many days.
Yeah, Tyrena Jones for this Duke offense has been the name you circle in terms of the big hits and the big moments to give her team some juice. A mistake last half inning defensively that led to a wild pitch run for Carolina. And so an opportunity now for Tyrena Jones to get her team within one with one swing, or at the very least, move the bat, pass the bat to Layla Lamar.
Two home runs, the only hits that Jones has this series. Laces one back up the middle for her third hit of the weekend. A one-out single in the fifth. Two-hit game for Jones, bringing Lamar to the plate. Lamar eager to see another pitcher. She was 0 for 2 against the starter Maxton. A couple of ground ball outs for the right fielder for the Blue Devils. That comes up and in on Lamar. I think they're going to say that struck the knob of the bat for a foul ball.
Yeah, and this is where gamesmanship or lack thereof comes into play. Definitely off the knob. I think the crowd thought it hit her. And I was the type of player who would put on my Oscar hat and maybe bite my wrist and run down to first base. But Layla definitely has a little bit more integrity than I might have. And also, she wants to hit. And I think that at this situation, yes, on-base percentage lasts forever. Getting hit by pitch gets you on base, but a ton of confidence in the bat of the sophomore.
And Lamar, keeping the bat in her hands, puts it over the head of Thompson. Lead runner Jones will stop at second. Back-to-back hits for Duke in the top of the fifth. KK Mathis coming to the plate.
Yeah, so another great swing by Layla Lamar. Gets a pitch elevated. Not a bad pitch, but one that Lamar knows she can do damage with. Keeps her barrel on plane, works through that. A long single, but more momentum in this Duke dugout. And pitching coach Maddie Holub gonna have a conversation with her sophomore in the circle.
KK Mathis is blazing hot. 3 hits, 2 homers this series. She will come up with 2 on and only 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Rain, what do you think the discussion is here with Coach Holub and Frost in the infield?
I think it's getting on the same page about what pitches she feels like she has the most command with versus what they've thrown KK versus what the analytics tell them to do to KK, but ultimately too, knowing who's behind her, as actually we see Gabby Shattuck warming up in the on-deck circle, which takes Kyrie Rodriguez, who's struggled throughout this series, out of the equation. It's, hey, go attack, trust your defense. What feels good here?
Mathis, first pitch swinging to Barbie at third, steps on the bag for 1, across to first. It's in time! It's a double play! The inning is over! How about that for a momentum swinger? After the visit to the circle, Mathis bounces into the 5-3 double play. front by a pair. Onto the home half of the fifth. Back-to-back zeros put up by Carolina pitching. Duke with a couple of knocks in the top of the fifth, but an inning-ending double play. The 16th turned this year by the Tar Heels, maintaining Carolina's 2-run lead. Cassidy Curd back to work in the circle to face Michelle Tarpey, MC Eaton, and Reagan Jennings, as the Tar Heels aim to add to this now 2-run lead. Tarpey is the only Tar Heel who has not reached base in this game. A ground out and a pop-up, both to shortstop. The North Carolina team that dropped the opener 11-6, trailed at one point in that game 8-0. They're able to hang on to this, even up this series, earn a second-ranked win of the year. What wonders that would do for them postseason-wise, trying to sew up a second straight NCAA regional appearance. But also just from a program trajectory standpoint, Duke has won 15 consecutive games in this series. Series got started when Duke started their program in 2018. Tar Heels took the first 5, but as Marissa Young has built and built, starting with game 3 of the 2019 series tilted in Duke's favor. Tarpey off the end of the bats. Backpedaling Stafford has it. Tarpey 0 for 3. Megan Smith Lions team continues to take steps in year 3, snapping that lengthy losing streak, at least game-wise, to the rival from down the street. Feels like it would be quite the step. You see Eaton's 1 for 2. First pitch swinging for her. Right field. That's the second baseman, Vega. Of course, with how explosive these offenses are, this game is far from done.
It's clear both sides are having fun. I mean, it's hard not to, on a beautiful Saturday in the spring, down the stretch against your rival.
The only problem for Duke playing a road game this close is it's a very short bus ride, and that means it's not enough time to get deep into a game of Fortnite.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Duke team loves to play Fortnite on the mobile app on bus rides, plane trips. Mercy Young said it helps keep the team loose. They were at Liberty the other day. Bus pulled into the parking lot. And she looked in the back of the bus like, let's go. What are we doing here? They had to finish a quest on Fortnite.
Yeah, and in preparation for this weekend, we meet with the coaches and ask questions. And I texted Coach Young, hey, what's something fun you want to talk about this week? And she brought up Fortnite, and that wasn't on my bingo card. And she said it's a lot of fun to hear them interact, hear them compete.
Jennings pops the 1-2. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Cassidy Curd on a trio of pop-ups. Duke trying to punch back in the 6th after this. have scored via the home run. North Carolina in front, 6-4. Neither team faring particularly well with runners on. But when the ball goes over the fence for a 3-run home run, which both teams have over the course of this game, can help offset this. Duke looking for their first leadoff base runner of the game. To try and solve that problem, Duke calls upon a pinch hitter, Gabriella Shattuck. Shattuck will lead off for Duke in place of Kyrie Rodriguez. Jayla Stafford, Adeline Matthews to follow against North Carolina's Kendall Frost. When we talk about momentum over the course of the game and the series, Tar Heels went in order offensively in the last of the fifth. We'll see if Duke can keep that momentum on their side with an offensive answer here in inning number 6 against Frost.
You know, every pitch feels, highly critical, pivotal, but this inning in particular is really interesting. 7, 8, 9. The top of the lineup for Duke, if they go in order here, is that leadoff spot in Deanna Jennings. And on the other side of things for Carolina, if Gabby Shattuck is able to get on, if Jayla Stafford or Addie Matthews is able to create something, how do you deal with Amina Vega if she comes up? But going back to those stats, Matt, it feels like it's home run or nothing. I mean, all series long, we've rarely seen an RBI double or an RBI single. It's been the long ball that has been the mainstay for both of these teams.
9 runs have scored on a homer in this game, 1 run on a wild pitch. That's it. Shattuck, the New Jersey freshman, battling against Frost.
And I think for both of these programs, you got to circle a few names and say, we will not let that person hit that walk-off shot or hit the dagger. And unfortunately for both, there's a handful of names on both teams.
Emily Leggett, Amina Vega, Sanaa Thompson, Deanna Jennings, Star Watch.
Tyrena Jones, KK Mathis, Raina Blackwell.
Shelby Barbie.
Yep.
The list goes on and on. 3-2 roller to the left side. Outlaw up with it. Close play at first in time. Thought that Barbie was going to flash to her left and cut that one off. Instead, it rolled through to the shortstop, Outlaw, who unleashed a very strong and accurate throw. Jayla Stafford next. Duke now 0 for 6 in terms of getting their leadoff batter aboard, and Stafford swinging at the first pitch, a roller back to the circle. All of a sudden, Rain, the Blue Devils just 4 offensive outs to work with. They have not scored since the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and really not super competitive at bats since that 3rd inning. And credit these pitchers for Carolina. I mean, Kendall Frost has come in, she's filled up the zone, she's mixed speeds really well, and you could tell right now Duke off balance.
Adeline Matthews 0 for 2 on the game, and a couple of hits last night. Blue Devils have not gone in order 1, 2, 3 at any juncture in this series. Frost trying to change that in the 6th. Two-0. Matthews out to center. No 1, 2, 3 inning. 2-out single. Here comes Jennings in the top of the Duke order. If the Tar Heels want to earn the win in this game, they've got to navigate through this dangerous top of the Duke order one more time.
And of course they do for both of these squads. And it just doesn't get easier 1 through 9. And I think Duke, there's a world where, if Addie Matthews gets out, at least you have the top of the lineup coming in the 7th. Where for Carolina now, if you're able to get Deanna Jennings out with no damage, At least you don't have to deal with her, but then you got to deal with Amina Vega.
Jennings 0 for 2 with a walk. Vega on deck. Fly ball, left side, in foul ground. A sliding attempt from Roberts, just a long foul ball.
And I think when you look at this entire game, of course, there's many variables as to why Carolina has the lead right now, but I think keeping Deanna Jennings off the base path has to be near the top of the list. When she goes, the rest of this Duke offense goes.
Jennings was the last batter to face Maxton back in the 4th. So Frost, one trip fully through the Duke order, has blanked the Blue Devils so far. Jennings on the ground to first, side retired. A third straight 0 put up by Carolina pitching.
But Raina Blackwell is at the top of the list. Game 1 yesterday, a 3-run home run to get her team within striking distance, and then today, a 2-run bob in a critical moment and a backflip as the cherry on top. And not to mention that, Raina Blackwell has been a key backstop for this Carolina pitching staff, has framed up pitches well, sits in the 8 hole in this order, but on many other teams across the country, she sits in that 3-4 spot. Just so much depth for this Tar Heels offense, and Blackwell has been a blast to watch.
2-homer series, in the second to last spot in the lineup, and she'll lead off here in the 6th. Blackwell, Outlaw, and Thompson. Cassidy Curd aiming to keep this just a 2-run deficit. Duke has just 3 offensive outs to work with. 15 consecutive wins in the series for Duke since 2019. North Carolina, the win volume, not a problem. They've got 29 of them. This would be number 30 on the year. It'd also be the 100th at Carolina for Megan Smith-Lyon, by the way. But quality wins. That's what North Carolina is looking for down the stretch. They've one ranked win this year against Virginia, the middle game of that 3-game series. 3 outs away here today, and some insurance would certainly help. Two and two from Curd. Blackwell out to right center. Lamar, 1 down.
Yeah, that's a huge out for Duke. That's the same pitch there that Raina Blackwell took deep yesterday. And so big out here in the bottom of the 6th. Duke has not had many of those opportunities to get some momentum defensively against this Carolina offense today.
Reese Outlaw, the shortstop. Fly out to right, hit by a pitch and scored on a wild pitch today. It will not be an easy part of the Duke order in the top of the 7th. Vega, Oakland, and Jones, 2, 3, and 4. Two-0 counts on Outlaw. Ball 3. And any traffic that the Tar Heels can put on the bases in front of Thompson, Roberts, Leggett, it's a huge plus. Shattuck, who by the way stayed in to catch, goes to the circle. Coach Young out there as well. We've not seen Larissa Jaquez this series for Duke. KK Mathis was warming in the bullpen earlier. Visit done, 3-0 count on Outlaw. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to the 9-hole hitter.
Yeah, definitely not the result you want if you're Cassidy Curd and this Duke team, to give up that free pass to the 9-hole to then turn the lineup over to Sanaa Thompson. But credit Outlaw. And credit this offense again. We've seen the power, but also the patience. 7 free passes on the day, and they have taken advantage of it.
Thompson, a walk, a double, and a fielder's choice. First pitch swinging, a roller to short, to second for 1. On to first, it's not in time, so a fielder's choice. It'll be 6-4 to retire Outlaw, but Thompson with her speed aboard with 2 outs. Lexi Roberts will be the batter for the Tar Heels. At least the scheduled batter, but Carolina will call a pinch hitter here. And Lindsey Lumsden.
Yeah, I like this move here. You don't need something short game to move runners. You got 2 outs. Duke has proven they can play short game. You need someone with power and pop here, and Lindsey Lumsden, the Campbell transfer, could do just that.
Lumsden, 3 extra base hits this season. Second-year Tar Heel after spending her freshman campaign at Campbell. First pitch strike from Curd. This is one of those bring her in the game and try and double the lead with 1 swing moments. Oh, 0-1. Strike 2. Curd, the 3rd pitcher of the game for Duke after Bradshaw started. Wheeler surrendered 4 runs in an inning. 0-2. Good eye by Lumsden. Thompson so speedy out at first. Next delivery from Curd. Got her swinging. Cassidy Curd strikes out Lumsden. The Tar Heels 3 outs away from evening the series. Nervous for this 7th inning. Their team 3 outs away from evening this rivalry series, snapping a long 15-game losing streak to Duke, earning a ranked victory. 6-4 North Carolina. Amina Vega, Jessica Oakland, Tarina Jones to face Kendall Frost of the Tar Heels. Duke led it 4-0 in the middle of the third. Back-to-back 3 spots in the 3rd and 4th from Carolina. And we've been at 6-4 ever since. Megan Smith-Lyon looking for her first win over Duke and her 100th win as North Carolina's head coach. Vega, first pitch swinging, a foul ball. Vega's been retired just twice this series. Duke, though, without a leadoff base runner all game. Megan Smith-Lyon said she wanted to see her team compete against these elite ranked opponents. They've had no problem playing to their standard against mid-major competition, racking up wins throughout the year, but bringing it against ranked teams. Was so excited to see that this weekend. Duke came out and punched the Heels in the mouth last night, taking an 8-0 lead, eventually winning the game 11-6. Today, even after the Blue Devils led 4-0, the Tar Heels have had the answer. 3 outs away. Ball 3.
Two-one count. Frost goes drop ball away. Again, Raina Blackwell makes this pitch look competitive. Instead of 2-2, it goes 3-1. Good take by Amina Vega. And now an interesting position for Frost. Go at the best hitter.
And Vega lifts the 3-1 foul. Three balls and 2 strikes. And the most potent hitter in Duke's lineup. The payoff. We'll do it again. Duke is 21-2 since February 28th. The only losses coming at home to Virginia Tech and Stanford. They've not lost a true road game yet this year. Frost with her 3-2 once more. Vega to left, and it's down against the base of the wall. Vega dives into second. Duke has their first leadoff base runner of the game. It's a double for Vega, her 2nd of the contest, 3rd hit of the afternoon, and the tying run comes to the plate for the Blue Devils.
Just tough to beat. Not a bad pitch at all. Elevated screwball over the outside edge, and Amina Vega does what Amina Vega has done her entire career. Executes a great swing, gets barrel on ball, and a leadoff double for the senior. And I don't know if you're Frost, if you do anything different there. You gotta attack, don't give up the free pass. You've got a 2-run cushion, but tip your cap.
Jessica Oakland, first pitch swinging, slow roller to short. It'll advance the runner, and Oakland beats it out. 2 on, nobody outs.
Yeah, this is a missed opportunity here. Nice job by Vega to disrupt the timing of Outlaw. And as a shortstop in that position, you either with a slow roller like that, you got to run through the softball and make a throw on the run, or you've got to work to make contact with Vega. If you see her in front of you and you can force some contact there that doesn't look egregiously out of the natural routine of the play.
Create your own interference,
exactly.
Essentially. Yeah.
But credit Vega, that's perfect decision-making to read the speed and direction of the ball, to get in front of the eyes of Reese Outlaw, which creates some hesitation. But that's a play you gotta take on the run at the very least. And if you don't have a play, which she didn't, I'd like to see her fake throw, see if Vega creeps off third base. But Duke, something rolling here in the 7th. What did you expect?
You definitely didn't expect the Blue Devils to go quietly, that's for sure, even if the offense had been held in check for 3 consecutive innings. Tarina Jones is 2 for 3, including a 3-run homer. A first pitch swinging, bouncing ball back up the middle. The flip to second gets the lead runner. Duke is within 1. Vega comes in to score. Jones reaches at first. A 6-5 game with 1 away.
And it looks like head coach Marciano is going to ask here about the play at second. Okay, they're going to challenge it. What a great play by Reagan Jennings. Dive up the middle, tap the bag with her glove.
It looks to me like she tapped the bag with her glove. That's out since it was a force play.
Ooh. Taylor White, associate head coach and third base coach, seemed pretty convinced that the glove did not get there. But again, it's whatever the call is on the field.
Okay, let's pay close attention to this. So the 2 gloves almost come together, and then they're, in essence, on top of each other near the fringe of the bag.
Yeah, I think if we have if we can get really close to it, you could maybe see, but again, it's so tough, the play on the field called out. But I saw what you saw, Matt, where it's almost like Outlaw's glove was blocking Jennings' glove.
Right, and
to touch the bag.
Ball, I don't believe, flipped into Outlaw's glove.
I don't think it's enough to overturn.
Derek Wilkins. Call is confirmed, runners out.
See, there's the glove, it gets down. I mean, I imagine at least one string of that glove hits the white of the bag there. And ultimately, the softball gods keep everything in check. Great play by Jennings to get the out. Duke will trade the out for a run, and now has to deal with Layla Lamar.
Lamar 1 for 3, represents the go-ahead run. The tying run is at first with 1 out. What an aggressive approach by Duke in this 7th. A lot of first pitch swinging.
Well, it's also the second time through off of Frost, and so they know what they're hunting. Lefty's getting a steady diet of inner half drop balls. But great point, Matt. These Duke hitters are attacking early in counts.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Frost's pitch to Lamar. And a foul ball. Tar Heel team that has not beaten Duke since 2019 having to earn it here. The 2-run cushion down to 1. Ball and 2 strikes now. Mathis awaits on deck. 1-2 to Lamar. Back up the middle. Rolled. Steps on the bag for 1. On to first. Another fielder's choice. Duke down to their final out. Outlaw and Jennings have been busy in the middle of the diamonds. In a row in the rivalry have gone to Duke. That'll change if Carolina can get KK Mathis. taking on the first pitch. It's a ball from Frost. Homer in the second, single in the third. Also homered yesterday. Blackwell, the catcher for the Tar Heels, her 2-run homer in the 4th inning, currently providing the difference.
Yeah, and I like the moment there for Blackwell to go out, talk to her pitcher, remind her the damage that KK Mathis has done today and throughout the series, and who's behind her. Gabby Shattuck has a ton of pop too, but KK Mathis right now the hotter hitter.
Ball 2. Probably not giving Mathis anything to hit here.
Yeah, that looked to me like the kind of unintentional, intentional walk here to set up Shattuck, which I agree with. I think that's the right call with how good KK Mathis has been.
Mathis walks, advances Lamar to second. Marissa Young talking things over with Derek Wilkins. The batter scheduled to be Gabriella Shattuck. This might be a pinch runner conversation. That is the case. London Collins will run for Duke. Freshman from Round Rock, Texas. Shattuck grounded to shortstop her first time. Had a base hit last night. A couple of hits in the midweek against Liberty. Carolina has not had 3 straight 30-win seasons since 2017 to 2019. They're not away from that.
Gosh, so much at stake here. Second ranked win on the year, a chance to add to the resume for the Tar Heels, a chance to beat the rival for the first time since 2019.
High drama in Chapel Hill. 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. You do have an open base to play with. Jayla Stafford's on deck.
Yeah, and Jayla Stafford has not been one of the hot hitters we've highlighted from this Duke team so far in this series. So open bag to work with, as you mentioned.
Shattuck flies the 2-1 into the glove of Tarpey. North Carolina beats Duke for the first time since 2019. And Megan Smith-Lyon earns her 100th win as North Carolina's head coach, her first over rival Duke.
The 100th win being against the rival for the former Tar Heel Megan Smith-Lyon. You can't write it better than that. And it means so much for their tournament prospects. It means so much for this team. 15 wins in a row for Duke. That streak is snapped. Carolina ties up this series. They give their coach her 100th win. And what a win it was.
And I think she's gonna get a shower, and she does. That's gotta feel good after a win like that. Tar Heels even the series. They earned their 30th win of the season. Every year under Megan Smith-Lyon has been a 30-win season. First time Carolina's done it 3 straight years since a 5-year run, 2015 to 2019, and an oh-so-important second-ranked win of the year. Duke scored the first 4. North Carolina responds. The Tar Heels even the series and will play for a series in a rubber game tomorrow at noon. My broadcast partner, Rainn Wilson. I'm Matt Krause. See you then.